yogis, happy Valentine's Day. Today's restorative practice is going to be centered around self-compassion. We're going to be really focusing on opening and expanding through the chest, allowing ourselves to let go and release. For today's practice, you're going to need a strap and 2 blocks. If you don't have either of those, in Canvas, there is a helpful tool for props for a lot of different variations you can use. So for example, if you don't have a strap, you could use a scarf, a blanket works good if you roll it up. And then if you don't have blocks, you can also use books. And then we're also going to use a bolster. And again, if you don't have a bolster, you can use a pillow. As always, please modify your practice. Practicing ahimsa, anything I say is just a suggestion, not a command. We're going to start off in Shavasana today, laying on our backs. We're going to use our bolster behind our knees. And then we're going to have our strap nearby so that way it's easy for us on our back to just grab it when we need it. Because we're going to be using it fairly soon. Let's get started. Once you find your way to Shavasana, corpse pose, just need to tune into your breath. And if you get cold easily, I always suggest layering up. This is a practice where you can wear big, comfy socks. You can also have a blanket draped over you since we're holding postures for a long period of time. Find a nice slow, deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and exhale, sigh out through the mouth. Just letting go of your day and centering down into your yoga practice. You're going to take a body scan as you inhale from your toes all the way to the crown of the head. Notice any areas of tension or stress. And as you exhale, you're going to take the notes, the observations that you have, and apply it to your practice today. And for our remaining time here in pranayama, focusing on our breath, invite 3 thoughts of gratitude and compliments of yourself. I find that sometimes my headspace can be really negative and judgmental on myself. And sometimes just changing that narrative, and it can just be something small, can really spark a difference, change an outcome, a mood. Once you have your 3 thoughts, your 3 compliments for yourself, you're going to slowly turn the head. Inhale, bring the head back up towards the center. Exhale, turn your head other side. Inhale, bring the head back up towards the center. 1 more each side. Exhale over. Inhale back towards the center. Exhale. Inhale back towards the center. We're going to slowly hug one knee and the next in towards the chest. Take the hands around the shins and move the knees in a circular fashion. Change the breath, change that rotation. We're going to move our bolster off towards the side. You can use your feet for assistance. We're going to plant down through our right leg. We're going to take our left knee in towards our chest, taking hold of our strap. And then we're going to take the strap around the ball of the foot and extend up for reclining big toe pose. And notice the amount of pressure that you have on your strap. So if you have a death grip on your strap, see if you can release it so it's just a light hold. Draw the shoulders back into your mat, lower back. And then begin to bring a little bit of movement into that hip joint by taking the foot and making small little circles. Have a mindful practice today of our thoughts. So notice if any negative thoughts come in, and instead of being judgmental, see if you can change the narrative. See if you can switch it and make it a positive. Circle the other way, change your breath. Sometimes with restorative, my mind goes to, how much longer do I have to hold this pose? And usually it's the pose that I need the most, surprisingly. And then I change the narrative. And then I'm able to maybe stay there longer and enjoy it more. Bringing that movement to a close, we're going to take both ends of the strap into the left hand, and we're going to move that foot off towards the side. Just opening out through the hip. The knee doesn't have to be straight, it can be bent here. So it's entirely up to you. So if you're feeling super tight in your hips and you want to bend the knee, you can. And inhale, bring it up. Switching your hand grip. You're going to take the left foot and you're going to bring it over towards the right. And I have a wall, so I have to adjust. And drop it over. So now we're getting into the side and we have a twist going on, and maybe the left arm opens up while that right hand holds onto the strap. Take 2 rounds of breath here. And again, the knee doesn't have to be straight, it can be bent. Using your exhalation to bring the foot back on up. We're going to bend the knee, take the strap off towards the side just for a couple seconds here. Take the hands once more around the shin, and we're going to extend that lower leg. We're going to flex the foot, and we're just going to draw a straight line. Going from side to side. If you have props towards the front of your mat, just hovering above them. And then we're going to take that heel of our right, and we're going to release our shin and just guide that foot so that way our heel is coming towards our sit bone. And if this is too intense of having the knee in towards the chest, you can plant that foot. And it's going to be a little less as we get deep into the psoas, the outer hip, into a half bound angle pose. And if you want to go a little deeper, then keep the knee in towards the chest, flexing the foot. The whole torso, the back is relaxed, really grounding down. You're going to circle the ankle, getting into the joint. Circle, go the other way. Take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly release that foot, slide the other leg out, and we're going to switch over towards the other side. Rolling the ankle. Rolling the ankle the other way. Taking hold of our strap. Bringing it around the ball of the foot and extending it up towards the sky, reclining big toe pose. And again, noticing the grip of the strap. See if you can soften. Relax the back of the head, the shoulder blades, the hips, the lower back. Taking both ends of the strap into the right hand and allowing that right foot to open out towards the side. And then you might have to move if there's any wall or anything in the way. Again, you don't have to have the knee straight, you can also have it bent. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Inhale, bring the leg back on up. We're going to switch over. We're going to slide back. And from here, we're going to take the strap into the other hand, dropping that right leg now over towards the left side of your mat. And then opening out the right hand, coming into that twist, getting into the IT band, the outside of the hip. More rounds of breath here. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in. And on your exhalation, bringing the leg back on up. Begin to bend the knee, release the strap off towards the side. Take the hands around the shin, extend the lower leg, drawing a straight line from side to side. And then begin to bring in that lower left leg. We're going to bring the left heel towards the right glute, allowing it to open up. And again, you can stay here holding onto the shin, or if that's really intense, then just bring down and plant that right foot. And finding your breath. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. If you have your shin lifted, holding on, you can begin to circle the ankle. If you don't, no worries. See if during our restorative practice you can allow the edges of the mouth to curl up to create a smile. Even if it's a small one. Inhale the knee in towards the chest, releasing the other leg. So both knees come in and again draw a circle. Change of breath, change the rotation. Konasana, banana pose. It's a yin pose. We're gonna straighten the legs and we're gonna straighten them on the other side of our block. We're gonna cross our inside ankle to the outside. And then option to stay there, or we're gonna increase our bend with our torso leaning towards the right hand side. Thumb in the opposite elbow crease, bring it back behind. If you prefer not to use your hands and just have them down by your side, you can always use a bolster horizontal behind the head too. It's a nice little cushion. Holding here for 2 rounds of breath. Exhale, begin to unravel the torso. It's leaning over towards one side. If you have the thumb in the opposite elbow crease, bring it back down. Then we're going to switch over towards the other side. Taking the leg on the outside of the prop, crossing outside ankle over inside ankle. Again, moving the torso more towards that side, so that way you have an opening and expansion happening through the side body. An option to stay there, or thumb, bring it back for a pillow, or just staying on your bolster. Two more rounds of breath. Last round of breath. As you find your exhalation, begin to bring the thumb outside of the elbow crease. Unravel the torso and bring the feet back towards the center. And just take 2 rounds of breath here, just allowing the body to readjust, the spine to come back to its natural curvature. When we come in and out of poses, we want to do so mindfully and slow in a restorative practice. We're holding postures, we're bypassing muscle, and we're going into the connective tissue. And then begin to inhale, one knee and the next. And just slowly fold over towards the side of your choice. Press into the earth to come up to a comfortable seat. From here, we're going to inhale, reach one arm up overhead, and reach over towards one side. Inhale, bring it back on up. Same thing, other side. And then bring it back on up and float it down. We're going to take our bolster and we're going to bring it behind us. And we're going to take our 2 blocks and we're going to have it on either side for bound angle pose, or Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Bringing the pads of the feet together, having the blocks there on the outside of the thighs, finding length And we're gonna bring the hands back behind us and slowly fold down onto our prop. And again, if you want a little bit more, you can remove the blocks. You're gonna place one hand over the heart and then the other one on top. And again, find 3 more compliments, or at least 3 positive thoughts. Again, just slowly release one palm and the next, facing up, rolling the shoulders back and down along the spine. Notice any areas where you're trying to lift yourself up off of your prop, and as you exhale, see if you can really ground and let go into the support of your mat, of your bolster or pillow, of your blocks or books. Again, you can choose to find a drishti point, a point of focus on the ceiling, or you can choose to close your eyes. Slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to take the hands on the outside of the thighs, bringing the knees on up, shifting into fish pose, beginning to extend the legs, flexing the feet, dorsiflexion, and then just allow the feet to flop to wherever they want to go, and as a response, the legs relax. And palms can turn down. Two more rounds of breath. A nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in. And as we exhale, begin to guide one knee bent in the next. Be mindful that you are on a prop. We're going to take one arm out towards the side and the other one over, so that way we have support as we fold over onto our side and slowly come on up. Moving our props off towards the side as needed. We're going to turn and we're going to face towards our bolster, setting up for child's pose. So if child's pose is uncomfortable for your knees, you can always lay on your back and hug your knees in towards your chest. if you find that child's pose is uncomfortable for you because it ends up looking like this, where your hips are up in the air and instead of your hips being close towards your heels, what you can do is build a ramp. So make like the letter T with your blocks or books. So one's gonna be vertical and then another one's gonna be horizontal. And then you can kind of bring the floor closer towards you and that should help. And if you need a little bit more, you can always stack your arms over your blocks or books. Just kind of cradling your head that way. We're just gonna turn our head to one side. When we're halfway there, I'll signal to you and we'll lift and we'll turn the other way. So finding a child's pose that's comfortable for you. Again, that might be a ramp, that might not be a ramp, it might not be any props at all. And whatever variation you find, see with each exhalation, if you can allow the torso to get a little bit heavier. Allow the shins to get heavy, the toes to get heavy. And see if you can focus the breath. So that way it's not so much as belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing here, but instead you want to think of expanding the back of the rib cage as we inhale, and as we exhale we soften. And to inhale, lift your gaze and turn over towards the other side, equaling out your cervical spine. Find your next exhale, bringing your head back towards the center and slowly roll on up vertebrae by vertebrae, walking the hands away from your prop and towards the midline of the body. We're going to turn our bolster so that way it's horizontal, and that's going to be there to support our chest and our rib cage. If it's too much for the lower back, you can always just use a block and instead of a bolster, or no prop at all. We're going to place one block towards the top, and that's going to be for our forehead. So we're going to make our way onto our stomachs, almost as if we're coming into kind of like a sphinx pose, which is where we're going to start. And then we're going to be getting into our shoulders here. So we're going to crisscross So that way our elbows are in line. One arm is on top of the other. And then our feet are going to be wider than our hips, so that way there's no compression happening in our lower back. And then we're going to slide our block forward. And you can change the level, it's up to you. You can be at its highest point, its side, or flat. I'm going to keep mine up high. And I'm just going to fold forward. And if you want to deepen your shoulder stretch, walk the hands further away from each other. Once you find a place that you can linger, you've got your props all set up how you need them. See if you can find stillness. And once you find that stillness, see if you can breathe into it. A nice, slow, even breath. A breath in and a breath out. We're going to switch arms in front. We're going to inhale, lift our forehead off of our block. And we're going to switch. Which arm is in front? And again, you can line the elbows up towards each other as you're crossing, or you can move the hands further away for a deeper stretch. And then again, finding what works for you with your block. Once you find what works for you, where you can find stillness, breathe into that stillness. Find a nice slow deep breath in. Finding a nice slow deep breath out. Next exhale, begin to lift the forehead up, slide the hands towards each other, and just come back into a Sphinx pose and just wiggle out the fingers. And then we're going to keep our block and everything right where it is. We're just going to turn over onto our side. And we're going to have our knees in line with our hip and our ankles in line with our knees. And we're going to keep our bolster nice and vertical to support our rib cage. We're going to slide out our hand, which is going to be in between our bolster and our block. And then we're going to use that block again to support our head. One arm's going to come up and overhead. and top arm. And stretching out the side body. Also, we're opening up through the thoracic spine. If you feel like you want a deeper stretch, you can always take that top leg and straighten it out. 2 more rounds of breath here. A nice slow deep breath in. A nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in, allowing the edges of the mouth to curl up to create a smile. Nice deep breath out, floating that arm down. And then towards the bolster to support you, so that way you can press your head up off of your block, sliding the hand on in, and then switching over towards the other side. I'm going to take my props and move it over towards the other side so that way you can see me. Again, I'm using my bolster horizontal to support the ribs. I have my 90-degree angle happening with my ankle, my knee, and my hip. Arm is going to go in between the bolster and the block supporting the head. And then I'm going to have my arm come up and over, stretching out the side body. And again, in the second variation is to straighten out that top leg if you want a little bit more. Two more rounds of breath. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in. And as you exhale, floating the hand back down by your side. Bringing it up towards the bolster. Releasing the head from the block and slowly rolling on up. Finding our way to a tabletop position. We're going to move our bolster so that way it's out in front of us and it's going to be vertical. It's going to be there for our torso if we want it in pigeon pose. If pigeon pose is not in your practice due to any knee pain, you can always lay on your back. Coming into figure 4 position, take the leg up and then cross it over. And again, you can do the variation where your foot's flat on the ground, or you can bring it up towards you, taking hold of the hamstring or the shin. And then when you switch sides, you'd switch over on the other side. So coming into that tabletop position, we're gonna kick out through our left leg, and then that left leg is gonna lift on up, bend at the knee, and take it to the outside of the left wrist. And then we're gonna slide our right leg back. We're gonna flex that front foot, and then option here, you can either use your bolster or you can use a block if the hip is lifted up. And then come up onto the fingertips, find a little bit of length here, and look back to make sure that the foot is in line with the shin and the knee. So that way you're not dipping over towards one side. Find a little bit of length, move your bolster closer, and then exhale, fold on down. And you can use that to support the forehead, or you can turn your gaze. Find length through the spine, and then exhale, fold down a little bit more. And again, if you come into this posture and you have any knee pain, you can always do figure 4. Breath here. Sometimes when we get into our hips, specifically in pigeon pose, a lot can come up. A lot of emotions, things that we store can arise. And then see again if you can observe those thoughts, not have any judgments, and change the narrative to a positive one. 3 more rounds of breath. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in. Nice slow deep breath out. Nice slow deep breath in. As we exhale, if you're in a figure 4 position, we're going to switch over towards the other side. For those of you in pigeon pose, we're going to slide our hands so that way they're underneath our shoulder. We're going to turn our gaze and we lift on up. If you're using a prop to support the hip, removing it, tucking the back toes under, lifting the back knee up, and then lifting and releasing, coming back into a tabletop position. Before we switch over towards the other side, just circle that knee, just massaging out the hip, and then change and go the other direction. We're going to do the same thing other side for pigeon pose. We're going to kick back the leg. We're going to bring that knee on in. And we're going to see if we can bring that knee on the outside of our wrist and slide back. And again, if you want to, you can use a block or slide your bolster underneath. And then look behind you, making sure that your foot is in line with your shin and your knee, so it's not splaying out. That's just alignment for the hip. It also helps you from sliding off towards one side, keeping you balanced. Finding length before exhaling and folding forward onto the support of your prop. Using your breath here, with each exhalation, just guiding yourself deeper into the posture. Slowing down your breath and being mindful of the rhythm, the cadence, trying to equal it out, even part inhale as exhale. If you take 4 counts in, see if you can take 4 counts out. 3 more rounds of breath. The end of your exhale, sliding the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up off of that prop. Tucking the toes under, lifting the knee on up, and removing any props. Coming back to a tabletop position. If you're laying on your back in a figure 4, you're just going to hug both knees in and take your knees in a circle. For those of you in pigeon, we're going to circle one knee again. Change the breath, change the rotation. And we're going to make our way onto our backs, joining everybody else. Bringing our bolster so that way it is horizontal underneath the support of our knees. Begin to roll into wrists. And change the direction. Coming into any other postures you need for your restorative practice today by pausing and then hitting play when you're ready for Shavasana. There's a confidence building mindfulness meditation practice in Canvas. So you're more than welcome to stay in Shavasana here. Or you're more than welcome to click on over in Canvas to that meditation video for a guided meditation practice. I hope that you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your yoga practice and your yoga journey. Keep it positive. Let it guide you on a wonderful week. Namaste. Thank you.